as Lindsay is talking about, you know, warm weather is here, and Greg Reilly, our pet expert, joins us with his buddy Pagan. And we are here to talk about something that I didn't know about, pets and bee stings. What to do if your pet gets stung by a bee.
Definitely, it could be very serious, especially if there's a swarm of bees around your dog.
Okay.
You know, the biggest thing is try to get the bees off your dog as quickly as possible and immediately get them to a veterinarian, just because the reactions from the bee sting on the dog. Now, some people will say, well, what about cats? Now, in my years of experience, I really haven't seen too much of a problem with cats other than a little bit of swelling, a little bit of redness. But with dogs, they can potentially go into, say, something called anaphylactic shock.
Like people.
Just like people, which is very serious, and that can lead quickly to death.
And so, okay, what are some things, you know, can you prevent it? I mean, really, what can you do for that?
Well, really, you can't really prevent it, obviously. But one of the things that you can do is obviously take a look at your dog and determine if it's a mild symptom or is it a serious symptom.
Okay.
Now, mild symptom, basically what you'll see is, say, hives on the dog, or sometimes their muzzle will swell up almost to like cartoonish proportions.
Oh, okay.
Where, like, say, Pagan's muzzle, if you can kind of notice right here, it's thin and small.
Yeah, it's very thin.
It would look something like a basset hound, where it's just really ballooned out. And that's one of the reactions that you'll see. What you can do is try a home remedy, which is Benadryl, okay? 25 milligrams, and if you think about it, it's going to be 1 pound per milligram, okay?
Okay.
So Pagan is about maybe 12 pounds, so you would probably do half of a tablet and see if that swelling goes down.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, you still need to take them to a veterinarian.
Now, let me ask, it may be a silly question, but I know a lot of people who are allergic to bee stings, you know, other things, always carry an EpiPen on them.
Right.
Can you use that?
Absolutely.
On your dog? Oh, you
Absolutely.
totally can?
Sure, absolutely.
Really?
If it's a severe case of anaphylactic shock, well, I won't say anaphylactic shock, but I mean a severe case of bee stings, you're still going to have the swelling, you're still going to have hives, but also the extremities may be getting cold, your gums may be getting cold, and that's when you're going to really need to take them to a veterinarian, especially if there's vomiting and diarrhea involved, because those are going to be leading up to anaphylactic shock.
So once they get, you know, to the hospital, what are some of the things that, you know, they'll be doing?
What we would be doing? Basically the same thing, the Benadryl, but it'll be an IV injection, it'll be a steroid, and probably be put on some IV fluids.
So just watch out for your dog.
Watch out for your dogs. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can go onto some websites and they'll be like, well, it's going to be a difference between bee stings or hornets or ants. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the same treatment is going to apply for the general stings. So.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Greg.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Pagan. We appreciate it as usual. As we take you to break, here's another look at how you can get a hold of Mr. Greg Reilly if you have any questions. Also, he has a great Facebook page at Greg the Pet Guy. You definitely want to check that out. He always has something going on there. You're watching News 10 this morning on WTHI. We'll be right back.